Good morning. Good morning, guys. It's Tuesday. It's my hubby's birthday today. Putting my stuff up. So I am going to do a light application because I'm hoping to get an outdoor bike ride in today. And so I will sweat a ton during that. And then have to do my makeup again. We're going out to dinner tonight for my husband's birthday. So I'll do makeup for that again a little bit later on. If I can get that bike ride in, if he can get home. Sorry, gosh. Good morning. If he can get home in time to let me go get that bike ride in, I'm hoping. All right, what's up, guys? Good morning. So I'm going to show you guys a super light application that you can do for summer with your SEINT makeup. If you're like me, if you're going to be outside, I put a video up in that units last week on application techniques to make your makeup last in hot, sweaty, humid weather. So you can follow those. That's if you want a little bit more coverage. That application was. This is super light coverage just to even out some skin tone, just to kind of make you look a little bit better, just you, but a little bit better type of application, basically. And then we're also going to talk about a little bit about the diet culture in women today. Good morning. While I'm doing the makeup, I just came back from a fantastic nutrition conference down in Nashville over the weekend. Had some really leaders in nutrition talking, and I learned a lot of things. But what I'm going to talk about today in the diet culture, like, we know these things, but seeing the actual black and white numbers associated with it was just incredible, and how terribly unhealthy our country is heading towards. And a lot of it is women, and we're going to talk about it. Men obviously too, but what I'm talking about today is specifically towards women and diet culture, and how it is just damaging your health dramatically. So good morning, guys. Good morning. All right, give me a thumbs up if you guys are watching this live. As always, comment replay if you catch it later. So I'm going to do a super quick application and try and talk at the same time today. So this is my blush and bronzer brush. I just cleaned it with my brush cleaner, and I'm going to use this basically for everything today. So as you can see, this is going to be a light coverage. I got some dark circles. I've got this dry skin spot here where I got a little too carried away with my exfoliation and it got me. So I'm kind of going to cover those things up, but kind of not. I'll do that more when I fix my makeup for going out for dinner. Because like I said, I'm hoping to get a bike ride in. And if I get a bike ride in, I'm going to sweat pretty good. So I don't want a ton of makeup on my face today. Anyways, okay. So I am going to take my darkest color that I'm using right now, which is amber. This is the blush and bronzer. I'm going to take this end of it and lightly go in there and just start putting that color all over my face. Like this. All right, ladies, so let's talk about dieting. So they provided the numbers in this nutrition conference that we went to for this year, 2021, and this is 100% geared towards America only, that on average, the typical American woman diets twice a year, like hard diet, like a crash diet, a fad diet, does some kind of dramatic black and white thinking diet twice a year. Something that's unsustainable, that's not a lifestyle diet. So what happens when you do these diets over and over again? All right, so just super light coverage. Let me come in. And you can see, look how much it covered up my little dry spot. Just with this and this. Very light coverage. But look at just that, how much better that looks. I'm just going to blend everything out. So now I'm going to take the big fluffy end of it, and I'm going to go into my Bella Bronzer and my Glow Illuminator, and I just like to swirl those two together. And then I'm going to hit my temples. So you make a 3 with your bronzer, basically. Temples, cheeks, and then down the neck. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do. So when you diet, you know, if you've been listening to my talks and my stuff for a while, I've talked over and over again at how the body adapts. The body is always going to adapt to whatever stimulus you give it, okay? It is always trying to become the most efficient it can at whatever you're asking it to do. And in the world of weight loss and building muscle and all that kind of stuff, efficiency is a bad thing. We don't want to become efficient at it, okay? Efficiency or efficient is plateau, right? So that's why with like cardio, okay, you don't need a lot of muscle tissue for endurance training. All right. You don't need a lot of muscle tissue to run long distances, bike long distances. And I think you can tell that if you look at a long distance runner, right? Look at the Olympics, right? That's getting ready to come up. Look at those long distance runners versus your sprinters. Look at their composition. Your long distance runners literally are bones and skin, right? They don't need a lot of muscle tissue. What they need is a great vascular system, a good heart, a good set of lungs to get them through what they're doing, okay? Muscle tissue actually slows them down. They don't want to have a ton of muscle tissue because that doesn't make them efficient in the long distance activity that they're trying to complete. But if you look at a sprinter, right, their goal is power, quick, force, you know, speed. They have some muscle tissue on them, right? Because they need to get to between 2 points, short points, very, very quickly. And in order to do that, you have to have muscle tissue. So their stimulus would be lifting weights, right? To help build the muscle tissue to make them powerful and strong, doing lots of plyometric work and things like that. And then the more muscle tissue as well that you have, the higher your metabolism will be, because muscle tissue is very expensive for the body to hold on to. It's very hard to maintain muscle tissue. That's why you have to maintain it with diet and the stimulus of lifting weights. You have to be providing the nutrition, the amount of calories, the protein and things like that, that your body can use to literally keep that structure together inside your body. Then you also have to provide the stimulus to the brain, because cardio provides one stimulus to the brain and lifting weights provides another stimulus to the brain. And lifting weights, the stimulus from lifting weights is telling your body to hold on to that muscle, because the more muscle you have, the more efficient you're going to be at the activity that you're asking it to do, which is lifting weights, right? And then the same thing with cardio. To become efficient at cardio, I'm just putting a little more bronzer on right here. All right, so again, look at the coverage that I got just from doing those 2 things. That's it. So now I'm going to do just a little bit of blush just to give me a little color. So everything's going to be with this brush today. Blush and bronzer. I'm going to go into Dahlia right now. Actually, I'm probably going to mix the 2 of these together. I'm just going to kind of dot it together like this, because I can do that because it's a cream, and give me a little bit of a pretty pink right there. Okay, so the moral of the story is the more muscle tissue you have, the higher your metabolism will be, okay? Because it's very expensive to hold on to muscle tissue into the body, right? All right, so when we diet over and over again, our body becomes efficient or adapts to what you're doing, this dieting that you're doing, this crash diet, this fad diet. And just like everything else, it's trying to adapt and it tries to become efficient at it. So that's why I can't tell you how many times women have come to me and said, I'm doing everything I used to do to lose weight and it's not working anymore. And that's because your body has literally learned what you're doing, and it has started to build up like a self-defense mechanism to these behaviors that you're doing, and it will resist the weight loss, okay? So this over time, this twice a year minimum, probably some people more, maybe some are only one, but in general, twice a year. When you've done this, every time you've done this, what you're doing is you're sabotaging your metabolism, you're damaging your gut health, you're damaging your hormone health, which those two together is what's going to damage your metabolic health. Okay. And metabolism doesn't just refer to weight loss, weight gain. Metabolism is any chemical reaction that changes one thing to another inside the body. So we have tons of metabolic processes going on in the body. And every time you diet and things like that, you're affecting all of these other processes in the body. It becomes a matter of health. And this is where I'm getting to. I know, long story long, that so when you're doing this, and you're not just, putting on weight, gaining weight, there is a lot of other damage that's going on underneath. Like I said, with hormones and gut health, most disease and dysfunction, guys, starts in the gut. Okay. You get signs of stuff that's not going right in the gut. And one, you ignore them. And then two, over time, you become accustomed to feeling a certain way, crappy, and you don't know any different. So the signals that your body gave you in the beginning, you kind of pushed past, you kind of ignored, and now you just kind of deal with feeling like shit. Like you don't know the difference. You don't know what it's like to wake up and feel better until you get in a different state and you start to feel better. And then you're like, man, why did I feel like shit for so long? That's one of my favorite things too, when my clients have this aha moment of, man, I can't believe how bad I felt. And I thought feeling like that was normal because you'd been in that rut for such a long period of time. But what's going on is there's a lot going on underneath. So most things start in the gut, okay? You have to remember this. Everything that goes through the gut goes through the brain. So everything that passes through your brain will pass through your gut. Everything that passes through your gut will pass through your brain through what we call your vagal nerve, okay? It's like this highway that runs from your brain to your gut. It's a big one, and it runs both ways. It ascends and it descends. So that's when I say everything that literally that you eat, some form of that will pass back through your brain. So you have to think about that. And that's how it begins to cause damage and cause issues, right? So when things start to go wrong in the gut, what happens, I'll reference this one. So sometimes you can get what's called leaky gut. All right. So your intestines are held together. Act like these are two cells. And I don't want to get too over the top, but I want you to have an understanding that it's complex, but it's simple in and of itself too as well. So we have two cells, right, inside of our gut. These cells are held together by what's called a tight junction, okay? And it's very small and it's very simple junction, basically. So, and it's a very permeable, which means fluid can come in and out of it very easily, which is a good thing. We want those good nutrients getting out of our intestines and to fuel our body, right? But also what can happen is the bad ones can get out, right? If we're eating a bunch of crap and we get what's called leaky gut is when that tight junction breaks apart and toxic chemicals or products get into our blood flow. All right. And then they get into our blood flow. And then when they're in our blood flow, right, they pass through the brain, they pass into other parts of the body. They cause inflammation. They cause dysfunction. They can cause disease. It's just a whirlwind of things that can happen if this happens over and over again. So the most common and what we're seeing a lot of now in women because of this diet culture is Hashimoto's. Okay, so Hashimoto's is caused from leaky gut. So you've had this leaky gut of eating shit, drinking shit, not taking care of yourself, ignoring the signs that your body did give you. There's not any surprise with Hashimoto's. Okay, as much as people like to say, "Oh my God, I got Hashimoto's. How'd that happen?" Your body gave you plenty of signals. You know how it happened. Okay, it came from eating shit, drinking shit, not taking care of your body, not hydrating, not getting proper sleep, not managing your stress, maybe not exercising like you should for an extended period of time. Okay. It's not like it happened overnight. This has been going on for quite some time. So, it leaks, it causes, and so the thing that it attacks is the thyroid. All right. And our thyroid, guys, is a symptom of something going on. If we have some kind of thyroid dysfunction, it's a symptom. It is not a cause. stuff doesn't just happen to the thyroid and then affects the body. Something is going on in the gut, okay, and it's not going well, so it's leaked into the bloodstream and it starts to attack the thyroid. Thus, you have Hashimoto's, right? Or hypothyroidism, or you can get PCOS. PCOS is from uncontrolled insulin levels for an extended period of time. So you'll see it with diabetics or people that are pre-diabetic. Again, it all starts from the gut, guys. So we're seeing a ton of Hashimoto's now, and it's because of what it's showing is because of this diet culture and women dieting over and over again, and causing these issues, and the rebound, from what we call the rebound from when you lose weight and then, you do it in some kind of unsustainable method, some kind of black and white thinking, just dramatic way to lose weight. I'm going to get going here with this. See, I can get down rabbit holes and it's hard to do both. So I'm putting on my primer, for my mascara. So over an extended period of time, you're causing damage, blah, 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 blah. And you lose the weight. And I'm sure you've all seen this if you have been in the dieting culture or been doing it for a little bit. Say you lose 10 pounds some dramatic way. You drop your calories to 1,200. You go from no exercise to 6 days of exercise a day, or you're exercising, you're lifting weights 3 times a day and doing cardio 6 times a day, some kind of extravagant amount of exercise and calorie reduction, or you went keto, or you intermittent fast for 48 hours every 4 freaking days, or some shit like that. I don't know. You know, there's just so much of it out there. You did it, and you did it for a period of time. You dropped some weight, right? Then as soon as you start to put some back of your normal life back in, right? Because this shit is not sustainable, what you're doing. So as soon as you start to put some kind of, normal life back in, the weight comes back on. Plus more typically, right? And the reason for that, it's that your body's, again, self-protective mechanism. So it's going to store a little bit more fat this time to keep you from trying to do this shit again in the future. It's exactly what it's doing. Your body, our bodies have not changed from thousands of years ago, literally from the springtime when food is flourishable. There's lots of fruits, berries, it's easier to hunt. We have lots of food, things like that, to the wintertime when food is very scarce and it's very hard to come by. So what your body does is in the summer we thrive. And then in the wintertime, it ramps down all metabolic processes to conserve energy to keep you from starving to death. So it's still working this way. Nothing's changed. It's still doing that. We've just jacked it all up with all these damn diets and all this artificial processed crappy food that we're eating, that we were never meant to eat. And now we're eating a ton of it. And it is 100% screwing our systems up. So this is why we're starting to see a lot of metabolic issues and Hashimoto's and PCOS and more diabetic and more metabolic conditions and cardiovascular stuff in the last 50 years because of these behaviors and because of the types of food that we're eating. And it makes me horribly sad, very, very sad just to see this and to, I know I'm one person and I can't reach everybody, but that is my goal. That is what I am educating women. I do have some men that work with me as well, but it's mostly women, and I'm working mostly, like, it's always about health. I get depending on the client, I would say 8 out of 10 of my clients that come to me, we have to start here. We have to focus on health first. We have to get the gut going. We have to make sure thyroid is in a good spot. We check all the other levels, cortisol, CRP. CRP is a C-reactive protein. It's an inflammation marker inside of the body. That it's kind of a generalized inflammation marker in the body, you would say. So it kind of tells us that, there's a lot going on, inflammation wise. And it's, so we just look at it to see how much inflammation basically is in the body, and are we having some kind of cardiac or metabolic issue underlying that we're starting to see the beginning of, and we need to pay attention to and start addressing the change now. Are we leaning towards Hashimoto's? Are we headed towards PCOS? Are we pre-diabetic? Are we having a lot of gut health issues? Are we constipated? Are we diarrhea? Are we in between? You know, are we not processing our foods well? Are we having SIBO, which is small intestine bacterial overgrowth? I see this a lot with clients, or candida. So you have SIBO, which is bacterial overgrowth, and then you have candida, which is yeast overgrowth. Neither one is a good thing, and it's an overgrowth in your small intestines where it shouldn't be in the first place. It should be in the large intestine, but it has worked its way into the small intestine. So we're having a lot of issues with that. That's the bloating, constipation, diarrhea, just feeling miserable. So we're not processing and digesting food. So then we're going to start to have other issues that could lead to leaky gut. And you can just see how it just one thing leads to the other. And so many people just don't address it, ignore it, or they try another crash diet or something like that to get rid of it. And it's just leading us into this metabolic hell. Okay, so let me come back to makeup really quick. So you can see, okay, I got good coverage, little pink on my cheek, got warmth in my face, light coverage, one brush right here. I only used 3 colors, my main highlight, my blush, and well, I used 2 blushes. I blended those together, excuse me, and my Bella bronzer, like that. So that's it. I'm gonna set it with a little bit of powder for today because I forgot to wet my sponge. So I'm just going to set with a little bit of powder so it doesn't move, just like that. And then, like I said, I'm going to get myself ready later today for going out to dinner for my husband's birthday. But anyways, so I'll wrap this up. I'm going to do more talks about this. I'll have stuff on my YouTube channel about this. This is the kind of stuff I want to talk about in the live Zooms that I'm going to be doing once a month. And I hope you women get on here and join me, and let's have some open discussions, and let's get educated about food, guys, and stop the crash dieting. Because especially for women, I mean, we're just seeing the trend is not good, guys, not good. I wish I can't do it because I'm on my phone, but the number of, it was like 52% of Americans will be diabetic or pre-diabetic by the end of 2021. And I can't remember how many of those were kids, which pisses me off even more. That type 2 diabetic is 100% self-induced, 100% self-induced. And if kids are getting it, that's the parents' fault. I'm sorry. You can disagree with me, whatever you think. That is the parents' fault if your kid is type 2 diabetic, not type 1, type 2. You need to change your lifestyle. That's not fair to those kids. But as an adult, you can reverse type 2 diabetes, guys. You can reverse Hashimoto's. You can reverse PCOS. Is it going to be hard? 100%, because you've gotten yourself in a really shitty place. You're going to have to pull out of it, but you can do it. And I have done it with clients. But anyways, so I just want to, you can obviously tell I'm pretty passionate about this. I just really want to help women to stop crash dieting, understand that it's going to take some time. Most of my clients, it takes about a year. It depends on what place you're in when you come to me, but you just need to get that in your head and be ready to work. It takes about a year to get the weight off, to get you healthy, to bring your numbers down. This is why I look at lab work with all my clients, especially the ones that need it, I should say, which again is 8 out of 10 women, honestly, that come to me. They need lab work. I need to look at everything. I need to see where they're at, and we need to address those things first and foremost, because if you don't address those, the weight's not going to come off. Nothing's going to change. So we have to get you healthy first, get you in a really good spot, then we can address the weight loss. So all you women that are under eating and over exercising, it's not good, okay? It's not going to turn out good for you. You've got to change your mindset. All right, the body likes to be fed, loves to be fed, and you'll see results eating more, and you'll feel better eating more. And I guarantee I make you feel the best, look the best, sleep the best, help you handle your stress the best, like all of the things I can 100% help you do. You just have to change your mindset and be ready to do the work and realize that it's going to take a little bit to pull you out of the hole that you dug. But anyways, even if you don't work with me, just stop crash dieting. Stop fad dieting, stop doing keto, stop doing intermittent fasting, stop doing all this other crap looking for a quick fix to drop weight, because it's not working, guys, and the numbers are not lying, okay? The obesity rate, the metabolic syndrome rate, the cardio rate, the diabetic rate are all increasing and have just dramatically driven up in the last 50 years, and a lot of it comes back to this diet culture. So anyways, all right, so there's my thoughts on that. I hope this was helpful. Again, give me thumbs up if you caught it live. Let me hear replay if you caught this on replay. I will be doing, I don't have the exact date, I will be doing another live Zoom nutrition Ask Me Anything talk in June, and I will put the date up. And this is the kind of forum that I would love to create with you guys and answer these questions for you and talk about them. I will have a page for you to submit your questions anonymously. So if you have something that you want me to answer, but you don't want to answer it in front of the group on the Zoom, 100% happy to do that. But these are the kind of things that I'm trying to do now, and tools and forums to get out there to answer questions for women, to help them change their mindset around food, around exercise, around health, around their wellness, all of that kind of stuff. And not to say that doctors aren't good, but doctors aren't really trained in a lot of the stuff that honestly we're looking at, or I'm looking at, or practitioners like me are looking at when it comes to labs and your health and your wellness. There is a difference between standard medical range and optimal range, okay? Standard medical range is, yeah, you're alive and breathing, basically. Optimal range is you feel good, libido's good, hair looks good, skin looks good, sleep is good, stress is managed, healthy weight managed, gut health is good, metabolism is good, thyroid is good. Like all of this stuff is an optimal range. That's what we're looking at. And that's part of the problem too, is that the standard or the doctors need to come up. Okay. Their training and stuff needs to change. Like I had one girl the other day who was close to menopause, and her damn doctor told her to just stop eating carbs. That's what's going to solve it. And that's like the fucking worst thing that you can do. Anyways, don't get me started. And I've had so many clients that are doctors too that will tell you they get about 3 hours of education and nutrition when it comes through medical school, which is fine. They're not nutritionists. They don't focus on nutrition, right? I don't go to a heart doctor to fix my knee, right? And I don't go to a knee doctor to fix my heart. They shouldn't be spending time on nutrition unless it's what they're focused on. So don't go to them and ask them nutrition questions because they don't know. What they're giving you is their personal opinion, not an educated, formulated answer. Okay. So don't ask them. There's tons of other people that actually live, breathe, eat, and work in nutrition day to day. And if I can't help you, I'll be the first to tell you I can't help you, and I'll refer you out. I have a huge network of individuals that I refer out to if something is over my head or I don't have any experience in, or I'm just not a good fit for, and you just need a different style coach. Got a huge network for people of very educated individuals that would be willing to help you. So there's my soapbox on that. I hope I got through to you guys. I hope you join me on the nutrition talk that I have in June. Like I said, that date will be coming up soon. I'll have the link for it. I'll have a sign up page for it, like everything. That's my goal, is to build this kind of stuff and get it going and help as many women as I can to just change your mindset, stop dieting, stop doing all this stuff that's just not turning out well, and causing just this horrible, unhealthy culture that we're starting to live in and push towards. And I want women to be educated so that you can pass it on to your girls, okay? I'm going to work so hard to teach family a healthy lifestyle, and this is what we do. We don't get caught up in all this other crazy stuff. You're not going to be doing any of those stupid detox teas or juice cleanses or any of that other bullshit. We're not doing that. I'm going to teach you how to live a healthy life. So if I can educate you guys, you can pass it on to your girls, they can pass it on to your girls, and maybe we can turn this thing around that has just started to propel out of control. But anyways, all right. So if you would like a color match, shoot me a message. Would love to help you, especially in the summertime. It's such a great makeup. It's so light. As you can see still see my skin, but I got a good coverage. Just feel a little bit more put together for today. You can shoot me a message and I'll give you a color match. And then if you have any questions, like I said, about nutrition, I'm going to have that Zoom forum coming up. Write down your questions, save them. Let's have good, healthy discussions in that forum, and get some of these questions answered and change some mindsets around dieting and, health and wellness for women. So, all right. I hope everybody has a great Tuesday, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.